Hi, welcome to another edition of Wednesday Wisdom, where we discuss tips and ideas on how you too can build your brand and your business through the power of marketing and live events. I'm Anna Osherov, and today we're going to talk about why your content marketing is failing and what you can actually do about it. So there's three things that we need to think about when it comes to our content marketing and creating great content marketing. The number one thing we need to do is define the purpose of your actual content. Just like anything else, if we want to be able to measure something, we want to be able to understand if it's working or if it's failing, we must understand the purpose or the goals for that content. So there are four main purposes for our content creation. Number one is engagement. Engagement is all about actively engaging by doing something, which means our audience must actively engage with our content by doing something with it. The second reason for why we might want to create content is for brand awareness. And the whole purpose of this is to get more people to get to know more about you. So people that didn't know about you previously learn about who you are and what it is that you do. The third reason for creating content is lead generation. And this is all around building your database, getting that CRM, getting that spreadsheet, getting that database full of new leads, as that name suggests. And the fourth purpose for creating content is SEO ranking, and that is ranking in search engines. For those that don't know, SEO stands for search engine optimization, so search engines such as Google. So now that we've been able to determine the purpose for our content, so either engagement, brand awareness, lead generation, or SEO ranking, we can then learn to do it well. So if we are looking for engagement, a great way to be able to do that is to research topics in your industry that are currently trending. So have a look at some trend reports, have a look at what your competitors are doing in that space, find out what your ideal audience is engaging with, and then create content around that. So find trending content, check out your competitors, have a chat to your ideal customers, and then create content that you know is going to be of value, that is trending, and make sure that you use really great titles and engaging snippets for your content. If you are looking for brand awareness, a really great way to do this well is by storytelling. Use stories either of your own personal brand growth or of your business brand growth, and try and do something that can either shock your audience, that can bring up emotion within the audience, or that is going to be entertaining. Now, people think that brand awareness is talking about our brand. But at the end of the day, no one cares about your brand unless it's relevant to them. And a great way to make it relevant to them is to make sure that we are delivering great, valuable, entertaining, shocking, emotional content to help people want to learn more about your brand and engage. The third part is lead generation. So if we are looking to generate leads, we want to have some really good lead magnets. The current most popular lead magnets are how-tos, lists, webinars, eBooks, and quizzes. Make sure that you have a great lead magnet that's going to encourage your audience to engage, to connect, to give their data so that you can build up your database. And SEO ranking. A great way to be able to increase your SEO ranking is to do some keyword research, find out what your ideal customers are actually searching for, create great content that uses those keywords, and make sure that you get some good backlinks, which means that somebody else is using your website links on their website. It shows search engines like Google that you are a trusted brand and will help to boost your search engine optimization, boost you basically to the first page of Google. Now that we've determined the purpose and we've understood how to do it well, the only way we can understand if that's working or if it's not is by measuring this. So how do we measure engagement, brand awareness, lead generation, SEO? Good question. So with engagement, it's quite simple. It's not just how many eyeballs are on your content, it's whether people are actually engaging. And as I'm sure you know, engagement basically means likes, comments, shares, favorites, retweets, etc. You can see all of this inside the analytics for most of your posts inside that social media or blogs. If you've got comments, if you've got likes on your blogs, you'll be able to see it there also. For brand awareness, that's a little bit trickier. So it is possible to look for brand mentions, maybe through hashtags or @ symbols. You can look for that in other people's social posts if somebody's talking to you. You can look at it through Google Alerts. So you can actually set up a Google Alert so that you get information every time somebody says something about your brand or about your industry. And you can look at content views. How much are people actually jumping on to your website or onto your blogs or onto your articles? Because this will show you that people are actually learning more about you. And it means that the content that you're creating around brand awareness is actually working. Next one is lead generation. How do we measure lead generation? Well, I think this one is probably the easiest or most number-based. Basically, if you have new leads in your database, if people are downloading your stuff, if people are registering and you're increasing your database in numbers, then your lead generation is growing. So essentially, if you've got more leads, you've got more prospects, you've got more conversations, you've got more sales. You know that your lead generation is working. And finally, your SEO ranking. Well, the best way to do that is to check Google. Literally type in some of those keywords that you researched, that you want to rank for, that you know your audience is looking for, into the search terms or into the search in Google and see where you come up. Now, please do make sure that you do this in incognito mode, which means that your browser is not pulling up your previous searches, because that's going to give you a false sense of security. So remember, in order to create great content, we must first identify the purpose of the content. Then we need to make sure that we do it well. And finally, we need to make sure that we measure it so that we know whether it's working or whether it is not. Thanks again for tuning in to another Wednesday Wisdom, where we share tips and ideas on how you too can build your brand and your business through the power of marketing and live events. As always, you are born to influence your industry. Have an absolutely awesome time wherever you are in the world. Bye.